There once was a man who didn't just know about God. He didn't just worship on certain days. He didn't just carry faith like an accessory. He walked with God, not for a day, not in crisis only, not in convenience, but daily, faithfully, righteously. He lived in such unity with the Almighty that he became a living mystery to the people around him. While others chased pleasure, he pursued presence. While others bowed to idols, he bowed in reverence to the invisible God. This man wasn't just surviving in a corrupt world. He was ascending, rising in revelation, increasing in favor, becoming more and more like the one he worshiped. And then one day something happened that shocked the world. He was taken, not buried, not mourned, not laid in a grave. He was caught up, translated, removed from the earth by the hand of God himself. He didn't see death. Death couldn't touch him. The grave couldn't claim him because heaven desired him more than the earth did. He had walked with God so closely that earth could no longer contain him. The world around him was dark, full of compromise, wickedness, idolatry, and rebellion. Sound familiar? It was a generation that forgot the fear of the Lord, a generation that laughed at righteousness and rejected truth. And in the midst of it all, he stood out, not because he shouted, not because he had power, but because he walked differently. He lived in alignment with the heartbeat of heaven, and in that posture of intimacy, he began to see things, glorious things, terrifying things, eternal things. Revelation was the reward of his relationship. Visions were the fruit of his obedience, and divine mysteries became his inheritance, not through striving, but through surrender. There are many who want to see what he saw, but are unwilling to live how he lived. They want heavenly visions without earthly holiness. They want divine secrets without daily surrender. They want to ascend in power without first ascending in humility. But the way to the throne is paved with obedience. The walk he walked was not loud, it was deep. Not flashy, it was faithful. It wasn't public applause that sustained him. It was the secret place, the quiet room, the stillness, the moments where no eyes were watching, but heaven was leaning in. His life proves this one truth. You don't have to be popular to be powerful. You don't need a crowd to carry the cloud. Holiness attracts heaven. Purity draws proximity. Intimacy births insight. He lived like heaven was his home. Because it was. He didn't place his hope in this world. He didn't build his life on temporary things. His mind was fixed on the eternal. His soul longed for the divine. He wasn't distracted by gold because he was walking toward streets of it. He didn't crave man's approval because he carried God's attention. And as he walked deeper and deeper, something shifted. The boundaries of this world could no longer hold him. The limitations of the flesh could no longer restrict him. 1 foot in earth, 1 foot in eternity, until finally God said, "Come up here." And he was no more. There is a path that leads to that kind of life, a path of righteousness, a road of reverence, a highway of holiness. And it is still open today for those who dare to walk it. But it's not an easy walk. It's a lonely walk, because few will understand you, many will mock you. Some will leave you. But if God walks with you, who can walk against you? It's a sacrificial walk. You will have to lay down pride, kill the flesh, silence the noise, tear down idols, embrace discipline, and cultivate devotion. It's a faithful walk, not a sprint, not a one-day decision, but a lifelong pursuit, a daily dying to self, a continual choosing of his will over your own. But this walk produces something no other life can give: peace that passes understanding, joy unspeakable, fire unquenchable, eyes that see the unseen, ears that hear the whisper, hearts that burn with holy desire. This is the walk that heaven watches. This is the walk that opens realms. This is the walk that makes hell tremble, because a man or woman who walks with God becomes untouchable, unshakable, and unstoppable. In the secret walk, God reveals the secret things. And so it was with this man. As he walked, the heavens opened, the veil lifted, and layer by layer, he was taken through realms of light and shadow. He saw creation in ways no eye had seen. He saw angels bound in chains. He saw the storehouses of snow and wind. He saw gardens of glory and rivers of honey. He saw the righteous rejoicing and the wicked weeping. He saw the face of God. And when he returned, he left a record, a testimony, a warning, a blueprint, not to entertain, but to awaken, to stir the soul from slumber, to remind the world heaven is real. Judgment is coming. And eternity is not a theory, it is truth. And for those who will dare to walk as he walked, the same path is available. The door is open. The invitation is extended. Walk with God, not just on Sunday, not just when it's easy. Walk daily. Walk faithfully. Walk in holiness. Walk in fear and reverence. Walk when it's hard. Walk when it's lonely. Walk until the heavens open. Walk until earth loses its grip. Walk until God calls you higher. Because those who walk with God never walk alone. There's a realm beyond this one. A place not touched by time, not governed by gravity, not bound by death. A dimension where eternity breathes and the throne of God radiates unquenchable light. This realm was open to a man who walked in holiness. And he was shown what few would ever be able to bear. The veil was torn. Heaven opened. And 10 dimensions of divine reality were unveiled. Each heaven, a layer deeper than the last. Each realm, more glorious, more dreadful, more overwhelming than the one before. This was not imagination. This was revelation. This was not a dream. This was a divine encounter. And what was seen must be told, not to satisfy curiosity, but to awaken conviction. In the first heaven, he saw the skies we know, but not as we see them. He saw the clouds swirling like celestial chambers. He saw storehouses, yes, real storehouses of wind, of snow, of rain. Natural forces were not random, they were organized, assigned, managed by angelic hosts. The weather was not chaos, it was commanded. What man sees as meteorology, heaven sees as ministry. Everything operates by order. In the second heaven, the light grew dim. The atmosphere changed. He entered a realm of chains, a dimension of judgment. And what he saw there would terrify the strongest heart. He saw angels bound, fallen ones, those who had rebelled against the Holy One. They were chained in darkness, screaming in torment, awaiting their final judgment. These were not fairy tales. These were not creatures of myth. They were once radiant beings, now damned by disobedience. And they writhed in pain because the holiness of God will not tolerate rebellion. Their cries were not repentance. They were rage. Because even in chains, they hated the light. Child of eternity, this is not a place you want to visit. This is not a realm you want to play with. The second heaven is proof that no one, not even angels, can escape the justice of God. Then he ascended to the third heaven, and suddenly the darkness lifted. Joy entered the air. Glory began to breathe again. This was the realm where the righteous dwell before the final resurrection. A garden beyond description. Trees bearing fruit of life. Flowers that sing. Rivers that speak. Colors never seen on earth. A fragrance so pure, it cleanses the soul. Here, peace was not just felt. It was alive. Joy didn't just comfort. It consumed. And in this realm, saints of old rested in hope, praising the Lord day and night. No sorrow, no fear. Just unending worship and radiant light. But this was only the beginning. As he was taken higher, the fourth, fifth, and sixth heavens opened, each filled with more intense revelation. Choirs of angels stood in rank and file. I worshiped like thunder rolled from their voices. Creatures with eyes and wings circled the throne. Records of every human word and thought were being kept in heavenly archives. Nothing was lost. Every choice, every secret, every hidden sin, all recorded with terrifying accuracy. There were watchers, scribes, warriors, angelic beings beyond comprehension, waiting for the command of the Most High. In the seventh heaven, thrones were seen, the heavenly court, the seat of divine justice. Angels with scrolls, trumpets in hand, the judge upon the throne, majestic, radiant, indescribable. Here, destinies are decided, verdicts pronounced, nations weighed, the righteous rewarded, the wicked condemned. One by one, heaven became more intense, more radiant, more holy. And then came the eighth and ninth heavens, realms so glorious that words lose their strength. Light became a liquid, glory became weight. Time stood still. It was as if existence itself bowed. And then the 10th heaven opened, and the man stood before the face of God, not a symbol, not an idea, the literal face of the Lord of hosts. Fire, light, thunder, mercy, judgment, power, beauty, all in one. Unfathomable, unapproachable, except by grace. Around him, seraphim cried out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty." Not once, not twice, forever. Because no other word can carry his worth. The man fell. He couldn't stand. Flesh cannot handle glory. But he was held, strengthened, sustained by grace alone. This then is the message. The heavens are real. They are layered. They are ordered. They are alive. They are not a fantasy. They are not symbolic. They are not far away. They are nearer than breath, closer than time, more real than earth. And they are watching. Every layer shows the holiness of God. Every level reflects his justice, his order, his wrath, and his mercy. And every soul will answer to what was revealed. Some will dwell in the third heaven's joy. Others will be sentenced to the torment of the second. Some will rise through realms of worship. Others will fall under the weight of their sin. But all will stand before the face of the one in the 10th heaven. This vision is a warning, a call, a cry from eternity to time. Do not play with your soul. Do not gamble with grace. Do not waste your breath chasing dust when heaven is eternal. This is not just about the future. It's about your now. How you live today determines how you rise tomorrow. And those who walk like the one who saw these things, those who fear the Lord, pursue righteousness, and turn from evil will not be left behind. They will rise. They will ascend. They will see what he saw, and they will stand not in fear, but in awe before the face of the one who reigns forever. The heavens are real. The records are written. The throne is occupied, and the invitation is open. Choose now whom you will serve. For every step you take echoes in eternity. The visions of heaven are not entertainment. They are not divine tourism. They are eternal truth, and they demand an eternal response. To see what was revealed is one thing, but to live like you believe it, that's the true test. Heaven is not for the curious. Heaven is for the committed. Glory is not for the crowd. It's for the faithful. The ones who stay low when pride tempts them to rise. The ones who bow when others boast. The ones who obey when no one's watching. The ones who endure when everyone else walks away. The message is simple, but it's not easy. Stay obedient. Stay ready. Obedience is not a feeling. It is a decision. A daily decision to crucify the flesh, to silence the world, to shut the door, and to say, yes, Lord, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Obedience is saying yes before the full instructions are given. It's trusting the character of God when the plan of God is unclear. Enoch was not shown the 10 heavens because he was perfect. He was shown them because he was faithful. He walked with God when others walked away. He remained pure in a polluted generation. And his obedience didn't just qualify him for revelation. It qualified him for rapture. This is the hour for the church to rise again in radical obedience, not convenience-based Christianity, not half-hearted holiness, not lukewarm loyalty, but fiery, fierce, focused obedience to the voice of the living God, because there is coming a day, and it is coming quickly, when the skies will split, the trumpet will sound, and the king will return. And when he comes, he's not looking for the popular. He's not looking for the clever. He's not looking for those who had a following. He's looking for the faithful. Are you ready? Ready when it's not trendy. Ready when it costs you everything. Ready when the world mocks your purity. Ready when no one understands your choices. Ready when obedience feels like isolation. Because let it be known, obedience will often look like loneliness, but it always leads to glory. Don't be fooled by the applause of man. Don't be seduced by the lights of this world. Don't let compromise whisper lies into your spirit. The enemy doesn't fear your gifting. He fears your obedience. Because obedience unlocks power. Obedience brings clarity. Obedience invites glory. Obedience releases protection. Obedience places you under the shadow of the Almighty. It causes angels to go ahead of you and behind you. It opens doors no man can shut and shuts doors no man can open. And hear this clearly. Obedience will be tested. It will be tested in the fire. Tested in the valley. Tested when you're misunderstood, overlooked, rejected, or forgotten. Tested when the promise delays. Tested when prayers seem unanswered. Tested when God is silent. But it is in those moments that you prove who you really serve. Do you serve him for what he gives or for who he is? Do you trust him in the silence as much as in the song? Do you love him when it's hard as much as when it's easy? Because heaven is watching. Angels are recording. The cloud of witnesses is cheering, and your obedience is building something in the unseen. Obedience builds oil. The same oil that filled the lamps of the wise virgins. The oil that comes not from moments, but from consistency. The oil that comes from waking early to pray. from turning the other cheek, from resisting temptation when no one is watching, from choosing righteousness over relevance, from being faithful in the hidden place. When the bridegroom comes, and make no mistake, he is coming, the only thing that will matter is, do you have oil? Were you ready? Were you obedient? Because partial obedience is still disobedience. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. And the king deserves full surrender. The heavens revealed to Enoch were not just a sight, they were a summons to holiness, a summons to fear the Lord, a summons to prepare for eternity. This life is not a game. It's not a rehearsal. It's not a playground. It's a battlefield. And every decision matters. Every thought, every word, every motive, it all echoes in eternity. And let it be known, obedience now determines position later. Your place in eternity is shaped by your posture on earth. The crowns you receive, the glory you carry, the access you're given, it's all being recorded. So choose today. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose purity over popularity. Choose obedience over options. Say yes to the narrow road. Say yes to the secret place. Say yes to the cross. Say yes to the fire that purifies. Say yes to the pruning that produces fruit. Say yes to the still small voice. Because in the end, only one thing will matter. Not what people thought, not what you owned, not what you accomplished. But this, were you obedient? When he calls your name, will you be found faithful? When the scrolls are opened, will your record reflect surrender? When the Lord returns, will you be ready? It's time to repent of delayed obedience, to lay down every idol, to cast aside every distraction, to rise up in holy fear and passionate faith, because those who obey now will reign later. Those who endure now will be rewarded later. Those who stay ready will be taken like Enoch. Let the cry rise again. Here I am, Lord. Send me, use me, cleanse me, prepare me. I will obey. Stay obedient. Stay ready. The king is coming. You were not made for mediocrity. You were not created for compromise. You were not designed to blend into darkness. You were not formed in your mother's womb just to survive, struggle, and die. You were made for glory. You were made in the image of the one who sits upon the throne in the 10th heaven, crafted by his hands, breathed upon by his spirit, stamped with his likeness, marked by his destiny, chosen before the foundation of the world, called out of darkness into his marvelous light, born for such a time as this. Everything in you, every breath, every dream, every ounce of purpose is a whisper of eternity trying to rise in time. Your life is not random. Your calling is not small. Your presence on this earth is evidence of heaven's intention. But the enemy of your soul has tried to convince you otherwise. He has lied to you. He has told you that you are average, unworthy, unseen, disqualified. He has shouted condemnation into your ears, pointing at your past, your failures, your shame. But he is a liar. He has always been a liar. And the truth is this: you were made for glory, not man's glory. Not fleeting fame, not empty applause, but heaven's glory, eternal glory. The kind that does not fade with time or rot with the grave. The kind of glory that cannot be earned, but can be received. The kind of glory that comes from being with God. The 10 heavens that Enoch saw were not just levels of existence, they were levels of access. Access granted to the obedient, to the faithful, to the surrendered. Access to presence, to power, to majesty. And child of God, you were made for that access. There is a seat with your name on it, a crown that fits no other head but yours, a robe that drapes no other shoulders but your own. But you must endure, you must rise. You must live for what you were made for. The world will offer you lesser things. It will tempt you with temporary comfort. It will seduce you with surface level success. But don't bow, don't settle. Don't sell your crown for coins. Don't trade your glory for gratification. You were made for more than this world can offer. Lift your eyes, look higher, go deeper. You were made to rule and reign with Christ. You were made to sit in heavenly places. You were made to walk through fire and come out without the smell of smoke. You were made to carry the presence of God, to be a living temple, a burning lamp, a walking altar. You were made to prophesy, to declare his word, to drive out demons, to heal the sick, to shine in the darkness, to bear fruit in every season. You were made to glorify your Father in heaven. But glory requires surrender. It will cost you your comfort. It will cost you your ego. It will cost you your idols. It will cost you your will. But what you gain is him, and he is more than enough. You were made to walk like Enoch, to live as though heaven is watching, because it is. To walk in step with the Spirit, to listen when God whispers, to trust when he is silent, to obey when others disobey, to prepare when others play. The visions of Enoch were not the reward of a prophet. They were the reward of a friend of God. He was not perfect, but he was intimate. He was not famous, but he was faithful. And because of that, God showed him what others never saw. And the same invitation is extended to you. You were made to see what eyes have not seen, to hear what ears have not heard, to know the secrets of the kingdom, to walk through doors others cannot open, to ascend the hill of the Lord with clean hands and a pure heart. You were made for glory, the kind of glory that makes demons tremble, the kind of glory that silences fear, the kind of glory that breaks generational curses, the kind of glory that sets captives free and makes dry bones live. But you must decide, will you live for earth or for eternity? Because one day the heavens will part, the judge will sit, the records will be opened, the scrolls will be unsealed, and what will matter is not how many liked you, not how wealthy you were, not how many platforms you stood on. What will matter is this: did you walk in what you were made for? Did you live holy? Did you obey? Did you believe when no one else believed? Did you stand when others bowed? Did you carry his presence with fear and trembling? Because the reward is not just a place, it is a person. The Lamb who was slain, the King in the 10th heaven. And those who live for his glory will see his glory. So rise, away, return. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too late. His mercy is new this morning. His fire is still falling. His spirit is still speaking. His hand is still reaching. Say yes, lay it all down. Come back to the altar. Lift up your head. Put on the robe. Light your lamp. Fill it with oil. Because you were made for glory. Shout it until hell hears it. I was made for glory. I will walk in obedience. I will finish my race. I will see the face of God. Now, rise, child of heaven. The throne is waiting. The crown is ready. The angels are watching. And the Spirit is calling. You were made for glory.